if he couldn't get it done from a creative aspect to come up with, create this, invest in this, make this happen, take it this far, and it still goes down that path, like there's no hope for any of us. And that was really kind of the business died to me in that moment.
EC3, I'll give you the reins. Vince and I, we had a complete episode talking about Bray Wyatt and the loss for the pro wrestling world and just the world in general, man. Just yikes! What a shocker! Just horrible, tragic news. You were able to rub shoulders with Bray in the WWE. Just your thoughts on Bray as a whole and anything you want to share with us.
I mean, it's hard. If you guys want to fill me in with any sort of like leads, I could probably take him from there. But what I do know is he was a friend, and one of those friends that, like, maybe if I'm not talking to him for a few months, if I see him or he sees me, it's right back to where we were. And that's kind of the most perfect, not perfect, but the best kind of friendship you can have in wrestling, because sometimes like that's just how it is. When you're around each other, you're around each other nonstop. When you're not, you never see each other. But when you do get back together, you are like you've never left each other. So I think vividly, like coming from FCW, I came in as like an indie guy when him and Bo both started. So, they had the namesake and they had the legacy. But what they also did was have like a unique version of themselves. Like neither was Mike Rotunda. And they were both uniquely their own. And they were very welcoming. I mean, Wyndham played football at Troy, so he had like a life outside of wrestling where he can come in there. He was a social butterfly in the sense that he can talk to anybody, be cool with anybody, and had a rich history of the business, but at the same time wasn't trapped in it and it alone where he can't have a normal human conversation. So that's kind of what really took me to him. And then he got along with everybody. And that included guys that came from indie wrestling, super indie guys that came in, guys that came in from football or all walks of life, actors that were trying to be wrestlers. Like everybody took to him because he had such a dynamic energy that it was welcoming, it was fun, and it was like I don't know, you just wanted to be around him. And watching him cultivate and create character after character during promo days with Dusty Rhodes is like I am the most creative man I think I'd even know, except for him, for sure. No, like he was unreal in like any aspect put on him, that he would create something and he'd put something behind it no matter what, whether it was freaking Axel Mulligan was something he got handed, or then when it was Husky Harris, like the worst possible like deviation of what he was doing in developmental to go and try to run with it to, and I mean, what happened? He got embarrassed on national TV by this company that he's always wanted to work for, gets punted in the head. Did he complain? Did he cry? Did he weep? No, he went back to work. He went back to the drawing board and he created, Bray Wyatt. And like, when you look for people that find inspirations in character, who did he pick? He picked the dude from Cape Fear and Waylon Mercy from wrestling. Like he's not, it's not like, well, I want to be like Batman and Stone Cold. Like, of course you do. Who doesn't? But he took those unique, characters and made them their own. And then initially getting over with the vignettes, those are all things he did himself too.
Yeah.
Until it was time for then Dusty sees something and then he steps in and now we're producing it for real. Taking that initiative that I spoke on earlier, where it's like, you have to, even if you want to be over, you have to get over. And if you have to get over, you have to do whatever it takes to be over. And I think a lot of people lose that because we've become complacent or we've become entitled in a sense, especially a current generation, where like he didn't. And he made everything he was. And yeah. Well, I totally like missed. I mean, great times with the family. Like this family treated us like family.
Nice.
And it's Like, I haven't talked to him yet because I don't want to be the guy that talks to him day of.
Yeah. Very, very, very tough. Very sad. From what I've heard and what we've talked about off air, he was well liked backstage too. Just a brilliant mind, and Vince and I was talking about that on a previous show. Just a brilliant mind, and just what I've said before, just paying it forward. I think what we should learn, what as fans we should learn, and especially as writers and producers for any pro wrestling company. I shared this before in Vince and I show. Like, if you've got those types of minds backstage, why in the world are you sitting on those minds? Allow them to be writers, allow them to be producers, allow them to be promo coaches, cash in on stuff like that. And instead of having them sit down and sit out for months, or even releasing them like they did with Bray Wyatt, bring that to the stories and to the television.
Yeah. You know, it's hard too when like you're a talent competing for a high level spot to be put in a position of creating for somebody else. But like the minds you speak of, like a lot of people be happy with what they have and go have good matches and do their thing. And like, but like minds like that, they want to create and it's not for them. It's to get it out of them. So you can see too, all right, like we're narcissistic in a way that we do focus on ourselves. Like anything I create, like I'm like, well, you know, because I'm number one in it. So whatever else I can create is cool. And like Wyndham, same thing. Like the Wyatt family, like he's the lead, but at the same time, he's creating so much for other people to work with him and, you know, against him, which is in theory working with him. So those minds need to be let loose because when it's bad creatively, there's no fate on earth worse than being stifled creatively. And even if you're paid boatloads of money and you're just taking money, it's super, I don't know, painful and demeaning. Like watching him, I think I said this in an interview. I don't know if it was with you guys, but when he comes back in the Fiend, he created this thing, and then it started to jump the shark when other people got involved. You could just tell it was him. It's over. People are like, I got to see this stuff. Like they're always watching. They don't know what to expect. Then it kind of got taken in different directions because people are like, oh, this is getting over. So meaning, what can I do? Oh, you know, it'd be cool. You know, you got a pig now. Yeah, you know, it'd be cool. You got this. And they're just tarnishing it to the point where it like becomes, like I said, jumps the shark. He has that match with Goldberg in Saudi and, you know, loses the title. And it was just like, in that moment, I wasn't working for the company. Or maybe I was. I don't even remember. No, I was. But I knew that if he couldn't get it done from a creative aspect to come up with, create this, invest in this, make this happen, take it this far, and it still goes down that path, like there's no hope for any of us. And that was kind of the business died to me in that moment.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. I mean, just if you think about just the ways that WWE bridled Bray, just the match against Seth, you know, just with the clown mallet. Yeah. The red match with Seth and just a whole bunch of stuff on him. And just,
he's not really a fiend. He's a human being who's portraying this thing like the second we jump into the netherworlds of like, then it's like corny and dumb.
Yeah.
Based in reality, you have some wiggle room. That's why the Undertaker was so successful. He's not literally dead. He's not really dead. This is just his persona.
It's the mystique of it. You know what I mean? It's the element of mystique. The element of mystique is super attractive across the board. And you dilute that and you extinguish it even when you're having people throw stuff on him and him still coming back from life, and you hit him with mallets and curve stomping him to oblivion, and then
I'm like, God.
Yeah, and then you have him lose to Goldberg, and then you have him be caught on fire by Randy, just to come back months later and lose at at WrestleMania. Like there wasn't any payoff for him.
They build the House of Horrors and they burn it down
They burn it down. Just I'm like,
burn it down in 6 years.
That's what's going to happen. I just want to say that's what's going to happen this Sunday with NWA and Tyrus and EC3. Tyrus is going to hit EC3, bro, with sledgehammers, bro. He's going to put a stick of dynamite in his ass, blow him up, bro. And this kid right here in the middle is just going to keep coming back. Come on, man. Come on, Tyrus. Come on, man. Hit me with it, bro.